reading vlog for this one. I can't really mix it up too much with the background because our house has been taken over by construction in the kitchen. Not the fun kind, like the water damage kind. I am about a little bit over halfway through finishing Beware of Pity, and I am in the middle of 2 other audiobooks, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and then I also started listening to The Bright Years. I can't remember the name of the author, but I'll put it somewhere. I hate it, and it has amazing reviews on Goodreads, so I always feel very uncomfortable when I not only don't like it, I mean, I kind of hate it, and I'm hoping that it gets better. It says I'm on track 23 of 51. I used an actual audiobook credit on this through Libro FM, so I'm going to stick with it and hope that it gets better, but how can I count the ways I hate this book? I don't like the writing. I hate the main character right now, Lillian. She's so annoying. The subject matter is tricky already, and I should have known this going into it. I should have been wiser, because I have a really hard time with addiction stories as they can be told, which is to say badly, and very just like cliche after cliche. I have a reason for this. Even setting that aside, I would say it's not a book that I'm going to end up enjoying. I already have such vitriol for this book that I don't know if it can recover, but because really honestly, because I spent the audiobook credit on it, I just want to get through it. I started another book yesterday, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty, I think. It's so good. I read half of it yesterday, and yeah, I'm hoping to finish it. I mean, if I could finish it today, that'd be great. And then on Thursday, I'm going to a book club. It's the band book club here in my town. I read Brave New World at the beginning of the month, and that's the book that we'll be talking about on Thursday. Yeah, as is my way, I'm running late, so I will see you guys later. Okay, I finally am getting to lay down to read. We had to go to Home Depot to get flooring. It's like a whole thing. Maybe this is a very obnoxious angle. It's just so comfortable. I should read Beware of Pity. I don't know how I feel about it because it's definitely outside of my comfort zone. It's not hard to read, but okay, this is actually not comfortable. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna move entirely. My opinions right now are, it's a weird story and I don't like it. Maybe that's just a valid opinion to have and I don't need to justify it beyond, but I feel like for a book to have a certain level of importance and I just am dismissing it, I must be missing something. Granted, I'm over halfway through. None of the characters are likable, and I don't need my characters to be likable, but these aren't just unlikable characters. They're deeply, deeply irritating to me. I'm not having the worst time with it. If nothing else, it's nice to expand my horizons a little bit, and I'm excited to be able to have something to discuss with other people. So at the end of the day, those are worthwhile things, and I will be happy to have read it. And then I'm like, I really want to read this, but I need to get through at least 20 pages of the other one first, so God, none of these angles are good. Maybe it's just because this is bad. My brain doesn't work anymore. 20 pages of Beware of Pity at a minimum, and then I'm going to switch over to my other book.
Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete.
Everybody in this book is so dramatic. There's like 800 exclamation marks everywhere. And the paragraphs of one person who's like whipped themselves up into a frenzy about nothing, might I add, they just go on forever. I gotta be missing something here, but I read something that this book is an inspiration for the Wes Anderson movie Grand Budapest Hotel, which I saw, and I predictably really like Wes Anderson, but I don't remember the movie very well. It's not my favorite. I know that. My favorite is Royal Tenenbaums, but I don't remember anything. I mean, other than the fact that Budapest is mentioned in here. Somebody will have to explain it to me. Oh, yeah, this angle is not good. I've done my required reading for the night, and I will be switching over to read my really fun book about death and cremation. Good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday morning. You like my little song? Dogs sure don't. Leave me alone. Oh, stretchy strews, stretchy strews. We do have a couch, but our house is in disarray. See, I woke up a few minutes ago, did my skincare. I managed to read a little bit more of Beware of Pity last night. I didn't get to read too much of Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, so I'm going to read this morning. If I have time, I will take Ace for an RUN. Yeah, he doesn't know what that means yet. I have my clay class this morning, and I am unequivocally, without a doubt, there can be no debate, the worst, the worst of the group. There's only 6 of us, and to be fair, 2 people have taken a class before. One is, she was an art major. Another one is just like this beautiful 20-year-old who spends most of her time on her phone, but manages to create great things. I'm coming in being way too technical about everything, way too concerned when things start to go awry. Much like in life, I have zero chill when it comes to this whole thing. So I have the best of intentions to go in and try to relax, but it's just so uncharacteristic of me. I truly wish that I could be just like a chill, together person, but that would be denying 40 years of my entire existence.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the color. A little bit of sunlight.
See that? It's 8:18 and I finished it. The book is like a memoir, but from a very specific period of time in the author's life. So at the start of the book, she's 23 or something, and she started working at a crematorium because she has this interest in death that I guess you could describe as a fascination bordering on obsession. Not in a creepy way or anything, in a like a scholarly way is how I would describe it. The best part of the book is that it's like she's a very good writer, and she's really, really funny. I'll do a better review when I do my wrap up, but this is I would imagine it's going to be one of my favorite books of the year. Don't mind me, just jammed into a little tiny corner of my bedroom. I'm imprisoned with the dogs because they're working on the floor in the kitchen today. So I just wanted to do a little update. I have my book club tonight. Am I nervous about it? It seems absurd, but I don't know. I might be nervous about it. We're talking about Brave New World. And so I will save any discussion on that book until people who I hope are smarter than me, it's not hard, to, I don't know, give me some additional feedback on that book. I think I like the idea of reading the book more than actually reading the book. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy reading the book. I just think I need to, have some discussion on it to decide how I felt. It's not a book I would pick up on my own, I don't think. Actually, I know that for a fact because though I did buy it, it sat on my shelf unread for a number of years until I decided to go to this book club tonight. So that probably speaks for itself. Okay. I can't sit on this floor anymore. It's not comfortable on my butt. Happy Friday, y'all. I had my little book club last night. It was good. It was good. Every time I think that I'm too strange for the world, like I don't fit in or something, I go out into the world and I see other people. But the book club was at a bookstore / book bar. It's new in my town. And the idea is, they sell books and then there's a place where you can order drinks. They have alcohol, but they also have mocktails and coffee. I just got a cold brew. And it was so funny because everybody kept asking me what I was drinking. And I was like, it's just a cold brew. I mean, it's not that exciting. But we talked about Brave New World. And Brave New World is a dystopian science fiction classic. I think it's considered a classic, written by Aldous Huxley in 1932, early 1930s. It's considered a very prescient, important book. It's very good. I don't know why I'm saying that like I'm being sarcastic or cheeky or something, but it's good, but I don't know if this is a book that you would love. It's a strange book, and somebody in my little group made the comment that they appreciated the nuance, and it was my first meeting, so I didn't want to fly back with my opinions, my strong contrary opinions, I should say. But I wanted to say it is a lot of things, but nuanced it is not. In fact, it lacks for subtlety in a lot of ways. There are some very good arguments made in this book for why this kind of society is beneficial, and maybe not necessary, but that it promotes a certain quality of living. Ultimately, it's up for you, the reader, to decide. But I found it interesting that Huxley plays devil's advocate in his own book that is ostensibly criticizing these types of regimes, which I think we can infer that he was, considering the time that he wrote this book and where he was living when he wrote this book. Also, when I went to a drive-thru later and the kid messed up my order, I couldn't really be mad because he was wearing a knit hat at the end of June. And I think you just can't expect too much from people who do that. And before you say maybe it was cold in the restaurant, it was not. It's like a tiny little drive-through. There's not even a place that you can walk into, kind of fast food joint. I've worked in those places. They're always boiling. I'm almost done with Beware of Pity. I started Small Boat last night. Where's my book? Here we go. It was shortlisted for the Booker Prize in 2025. So, yeah, just a little one. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym and I'll bring my swimsuit so that I can just change. My husband's gone this weekend on a camping trip, so it's just Lucy and me. Do you see her? There's her little paws back there. She's very old and very deaf. Finished Beware of Pity this evening, and there's hair on me. I think I really liked it, but excuse me, I just had some cereal. What is happening? I hate, but there's a hair on my face. Okay. Ugh. It's a bit of an overreaction, I think. I need to sit with it. I know I liked it more than... Is this always crooked or is it just me? I know I liked it more than Brave New World, but in a way the experience wasn't dissimilar because the whole time I hated all of the characters. Like, I hated the people that they were, even though they were very probably realistic, or their flaws were up front and center. The writing, yeah. I don't know. I can't put sentences together because I don't have very well-formed thoughts. The story, if you're not familiar with it, is about a young officer in the Austrian military. His name is Hofmiller, and he's just like a lowly ranking officer, I think, and through a series of events, he is invited to this party at the... I am going to be mispronouncing this. I'll correct myself when I learn the correct pronunciation, but it's like the Kiksvalva Castle. And he's at this party. He sees a girl kind of by herself in the corner, and he goes over to ask her to dance. I don't remember if he knew at the time, but she is the daughter of the man who owns the castle and the estate, whose name is Kiksvalva. He asks her to dance, and then upon asking her, realizes that she's disabled and she can't walk, or at least she can't walk on her own. She has a physical disability, and he's mortified, and so he just flees. This is a running theme throughout the book. He's embarrassed, he flees the scene. A clumsy introduction into this family, and because he feels so badly about that situation and about Edith is the name of the daughter, her condition in general, he starts to just go over to the house all the time, and he visits with her, he showers her with attention, he ingratiates himself into this family, but it's not really calculated necessarily or purposeful. It's all born of this pity that he feels for everybody in the household, but most specifically for Edith herself. And this is something that is repeated over and over and over and over again. And I will just say the reason I didn't like him is because he gave me very nice guy vibes. When I was, in my teens and 20s, nice guys were still being peddled to us as things that we women should want. And I'm sure there's a female version of this, but I'm not familiar with that, so I can only speak to my own experience. Hofmiller was so just like... He did one good thing, and he literally called himself God. And he always came back to this idea that, oh, it's just because I feel so badly for her, and oh my God, look at what my pity has wrought. And he just always seemed to feel like he was the victim, even though his words were saying something different. So I really didn't like him. Granted, you could make the argument he's young and naive and all of these other things, but I just did not like him. But the story itself, the writing itself, I feel like it's going to have that kind of slow burn with me where I finish it and I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I finished it. And then I can't stop thinking about it. The aftertaste in my mouth is giving me those early vibes. So I will let that percolate a little bit. And then tonight I will read some of Small Boat. It's very short. Not even 150 pages, not even 130 pages. And then I think that will be good for my reading for the month of June. It was a good reading month, I would say. Numbers-wise, I'm not sure about actual... No, it was a good reading month. Okay. I will have read 9, maybe 10 books in June, with 2 of those books being audiobooks. So yeah, that's a good ratio for me. And 2 of those books being very, very slim. Reading is reading. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. Bye. Heading to the pool with my girlfriend. But reading Small Boat, and I just started Bleak House and The Idiot. Why am I using this hanger? And I'm still listening to The Bright Years by Sarah somebody. I cannot tell you how much I hate this book. I don't have to finish it, obviously. I'm very close to being finished with it, and I use the audiobook credit on it, and I feel trapped by that fact. I normally have no problem DNFing a book, but yeah, I just cannot. The writing is atrocious, and I'm sorry to the author for this. Not that she'll ever read this, or listen. What am I doing? She'll never watch this. But what she's done is crafted a story by throwing every possible tragic thing that can happen into a story. I truly hate the alcoholism thread. I think it is poorly handled and cliche to the nth degree. If you have personal experience with alcoholism, whatever, I would say don't read this book. It will just infuriate you. Now, obviously some people feel differently because this book has defied the odds, in my opinion, and is like 4+ star average on Goodreads. I should probably do a video about my big hot takes, because they're probably controversial. This is not flattering, is it? Ugh, but I don't want to do that either. Okay, whatever. I also will say, if you're going to read this book, this isn't a spoiler per se, but I'll put in where to skip to. She has dropped in that one of the main characters has an eating disorder, and it's so irresponsible. I'm sorry. It is so irresponsible to me to just use that kind of really serious situation and to pay absolutely no mind to it. It is purely background meant to heighten the drama, but it doesn't even do that. It's just, it's discarded. I mean, I haven't finished it, so maybe there's going to be some resolution, but I swear it's maybe 2 sentences have been devoted to this. Everything is predictable, it's telegraphed, it's corny in a bad way. I hate this book. I might end up hating this book more than I hated Where the Crawdads. What is it? What is that dumb book? You know what I'm talking about, the Crawdads book. I hated that book too. Maybe I'll hate this one less if it is less popular than the Crawdads book, but I hate this book, and I'm bummed to be ending my June reading month this way, but Small Boat is good, so, you know, we look for the positives where we can. But I hate this book so much. Back from the pool, back in sweats. We had to end it early because my friend's dog was ready to be picked up from the vet. She had a cheatgrass incident this morning, and if anybody knows what a pain it is to have a lab and be in a place where there's a lot of cheatgrass, then you understand. I don't like how that looks. Still don't like how that looks. Ugh, whatever. I finished The Bright Years. The author's name is Sarah Damoff. I'm kind of furious at this book, and I don't really get like this. The only reason I was not a fan of the Crawdads book is not because it was so bad. I just didn't think it deserved the hype that it was getting. I still don't. But this book being The Bright Years, has a 4.28 average rating, 13,657 ratings, 2,701 reviews. So, I mean, I don't really know, but that seems like a lot to me. And yeah, I'm going to give it 1 star, which I never do, ever. I just won't rate a book at that point. But I'm like, I actually think that this book is irresponsible about how it handles these topics, to speak nothing of just really cliche writing and a rushed ending, which, don't get me wrong, I wasn't upset that it was over. It was just adding fuel to my fire, frankly. And I should have just DNF'd it because I don't actually like having negative responses like this. And I guess if you like this book, I don't know what to say. Explain to me what you... No, I don't even want to hear it. I hate this book that much. Anyway, I don't want to end on such a sour note. I really like The Idiot. Hold on. This is what I'm reading right now, along with Bleak House, and then I will be starting Little Big by... It's Crowley. That's the last name. I can't remember the first name. So I'm going to have an assortment of books going. I'm hoping to finish Small Boat. Probably just finish it tomorrow. I'm not in a rush with that one. So I will have, I think, 10-ish books to talk about in my June wrap-up. A little preview of the books that I really liked. And we already know the one that I hated. I don't think I've hated any other book. I'd have to really look, but... I don't know. So of the books that I read, I loved Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty. I almost loved Our Evenings by Alan Hollinghurst. I enjoyed Beware of Pity by Stefan Zwieg. I even looked up how to pronounce it. Now I can't remember. And then it's Kekisfalva is how you say the family's name. I think that was it so far. We'll see how I feel about Small Boat. Yeah, we'll just carry on. I really, really, really like this one so far. I mean, I'm only a few pages in, but it grabbed me. And that's what I'm looking for. I think this is what my summer is just going to look like. A lot of reading, a lot of going to the pool, and some concerts that we're going to. Small ones. I can't handle big, huge concerts these days. I have no tolerance for such things. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.